This is the Versadrive system from Holemaker Technology. Now with a name like Holemaker Technology, you would think they were in the business of building tools that make holes in things. And well, that's exactly what they do. This is a UK company. However, they've just opened distribution here in the US. They've got an office in Clearwater, Florida, as well as in Indiana. So now they're set up for distributing here in the US. Now we got a hold of their Versadrive system, and this is just kind of a sampling of some of the things they have. And let's talk about what the Versadrive system actually is, because something like Versadrive really doesn't have Holemaker in the title, and there's more things than just, hole saws and things like that in here. Well, the Versadrive system is basically the ability to take all these tools that are sitting here and more, and adapt to all the different accessories in here without having to have different accessories. Here's what I mean by that. So if you look at the shanks on all these, they all have a typical hex style shank on them, but they're not your 1/4 inch style that would go in an impact driver or fit in a drill. Well, these will chuck up in a 1/2 inch drill. But basically, this then meshes with each one of these Versadrive systems that then connect with different tools. This one's made for a 1/2 inch impact wrench. This one here is made for an SDS Plus rotary drill or rotary hammer, as you see sitting here. And then there's another one here, and this is made for your typical, mag style drill or mag drill. And then this one here is made for your typical impact driver, your 1/4 inch hex. And again, it meshes to then the Versadrive system so that each one of these bits snap in there very easily, snap in without having to pull the ring back or anything, and then pull the ring back to unlock it and pull it out. So that's the cool thing about that is their Versadrive system is you can switch out the accessories and do different things. Let's go over and actually talk about this a little more in depth. Then we'll use it on some different materials. Then we'll come back and wrap it up. What we're looking at here is the Versadrive system. It is a patented system. And basically what it is, it's a lot of cutting tools. So it's from a company called Holemaker Technology. So with a name like Holemaker, then obviously they know something about drilling holes, making holes in metal, wood, whatever you want to do, mostly industrial, so be steel applications, aluminum alloys, things like that. What the Versadrive system does is allow you to use all the different cutting tools, whether it be a simple drill bit, whether it be a drill and tap in one, whether it be a step drill bit or a unibit or whatever you want to call that, even chamfering holes, even car reamers where you're reaming holes. All of those things can be used with one drive, and here's what I mean by that. So here's a drive here that I can grab this hole cutter here and snap it in here, and it uses that drive. Well, I can put that in an impact driver. So I've got my impact driver, put that in there, and I can use my impact driver to drive that. Obviously, I could put it in, chuck it up in my drill as well, but that takes it from that 1/4 inch hex down to the special Versadrive system, and you see it easily locks into place, no screws needed or anything else. And by the way, like on the hole saws here, their hole cutters, you can replace the pilot bit as well. And inside these larger ones here is actually a spring in here that ejects the cutout once you cut it out on the bigger one. So you can see this spring here. So anyway, so hole cutters. Here's the one for the impact driver or the 1/4 inch hex, if you will. There's another Versadrive right here, and what that's for is SDS Plus. So I can take this in my rotary hammer, and now when I'm using it in this tool, you want to make sure that, number one, you have it seated all the way in. Number two, that you're in drill mode and you're not hammering on it. So you don't want to ruin the bit by using it in hammer mode, but it will work in that SDS Plus. So you're converting that SDS Plus, your rotary hammer, down to be able to accept, whether it's a reamer, whether it's a drill bit, what have you, and then you can use your rotary hammer to do your work. And, a lot of times you're kind of fitted with a single power tool in your job, whether you're drilling concrete, whatever, and then when you need to drill in the steel, maybe a pain to actually switch tools. Now you've got a Versadrive system to allow you to do that. And then even getting into impact wrenches. So here's the Versadrive for an impact wrench. So I can easily come over here, snap this onto my 1/2 inch impact wrench, and now I can use, again, any of these tools. Just snap that into place in the Versadrive. easily adapts to now that impact wrench. Again, you want to use this not like an impact wrench where you're doing a lot of hammering, but try to minimize that impact as you're doing the drilling. But it does allow you to do the jobs, especially on thinner metals. The impact wrenches will work well. On thicker metals, you would rather stick to some type of drilling power tool. And then finally here, we have for your typical mag drills, things like that, where that's going to snap into place. And again, use any of your tools to snap right into the Versadrive system. So that's your Versadrive system. Basically the ability to adapt the same cutting tools to different types of power tools, so you're not having to have different power tools to do those jobs. So pretty cool system. Again, it is a patented system. This company is out of the UK. And by the way, they have just opened distribution here in the US as well. So UK company with distribution now in the USA. Let's use some of these and see what we think. Okay, we'll just take our drill here and we'll just chuck up the Versadrive straight into the drill. So we don't need anything other than chucking that hole cutter into the drill itself. Then I'll get a little bit of wax there and we'll see how well this does. And by the way, just so you know, here's a gauge here, and this second one is 1/4 inch. It is thicker than 1/4, a little bit thinner than 5/16. Somebody said the other day, that's not 1/4 inch. You're right, it's not 1/4 inch. It's thicker than 1/4 inch. Anyway, just wanted to give you an idea. More lube. And there we have it. So through 1/4 inch steel, and we cut that 1 inch hole there, no problem. Actually, that's bigger than 1 inch if I'm not mistaken, with a single pass. So no pilot hole needed. We utilize the pilot drill bit in there. Now let's see if we can get that out. There we go. And there's our plug right there. So that's just chucking straight up into the drill. Now let's see here, let's use our impact driver and we'll put on the step bit here. So you see we've gotten through now. So these are impact rated as well. So again, if you can go with just a pure rotary tool, that's going to work best, but you can use that impact driver. So again, in thinner metals, that's going to work out much better. I did want to show in a little bit thinner metal, so this is just some typical angle iron here, what I think that's 1.5 by 1.5 angle iron. and I've got my impact wrench with the step bit on here. Makes quick work of that, even with the impact wrench, even going into impact. So your more standard thickness of metal, it's going to eat through rather quickly. And then I'll grab the SDS bit, little tap head on it. There we go. So now that's tapped. And then I'll change it out. Go to the hole saw with the impact. Again, I want to minimize the impacting if I can. But if it impacts a little, it shouldn't hurt it. A little more lube. And there we have it. Then finally, let's take our impact wrench and we'll put our car reamer in there. And so we'll just open up this hole that we just made. Again, would not recommend this to be the tool for that job, but in a pinch, would it make it? Absolutely. And again, the thinner the metal, the easier that's going to be pushing that through, especially when you're cutting holes, if you will. But that's the cool thing about the Versadrive system is, again, any of your rotary type tools, impact wrenches, impact drivers, drills, SDS plus drills, rotary hammers, you can use their different tools for, even into the to the mag drills as well. So just a really cool assortment. By the way, this is going to run you about $200, maybe a little more, depending. This is just kind of a sample kit anyway, because they can make up about anything you want, and you can get these individually as well. So, you know, whether you're just wanting to open up a hole and tap it, as you see here, or if you're wanting to drill and tap all in one, or if you're, you know, needing to actually just even just chamfer a hole. There we go. So I can just clean up those holes, put a nice chamfer on it. There we go. It's the Versadrive system. This kit that you see here is going to be at least a couple of $100, if not more, depending on what you want in it. Now, what they're in the business of doing is selling whatever you need. So whatever the job's at hand, whether you need chamfer bits, whether you need step bits, or you need, you know, hole cutters, what have you, you can buy those in kits. You can buy them one at a time. Whatever you need, they have it. This is just a sampling of some of the things they have. The Versadrive system, as you saw, is really, really handy. Even in the case of this SDS Max here, slide it in, locks into place, and then you put whatever, you know, accessory you need in there, and now you're ready to drill a hole, chamfer a hole, whatever it is you need to do. Now, as I mentioned when we were using this, even though this will fit in all these different tools, they still recommend when you're like, you know, cutting a hole in thick metal, what have you, that you'll try to mitigate or limit the amount of impacts that are going on. So if you've got your 1/2 inch impact wrench, especially if you've got, a high torque impact. Don't just hammer at it and let it just, chew those teeth up. These are carbide teeth. They're very hard. They're going to cut really well. However, you can damage them. They will go flying off if you hammer on them too much. So again, let the impact kind of use the rotary force. So make sure you're getting rotations in there, not just that hammering force, whether you're using the hammer drill, whether you're using the impact wrench or even the impact driver. But the cool thing is it will fit on all these. You can use these in these different tools. So the impact driver here easily, again, you snap it into place, put the drill and tap in there, and so now you're ready to drill and tap a hole all in one. So hey, check out Holemaker Technology. It's holemaker-technology.com. Also, would you keep track of us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter? If you don't mind, would you hit that like and subscribe button, but only if you like this video. If you didn't like this video, give us that thumbs down, but would you let us know in the comments why? Have a great day and keep smiling.